Hi everyone. It's Sunday, September 22nd. Time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. We're going to start with Europe this week, where editor Andrea Guolo reports that the British 36 plus ox is stable, around 75 cents in sterling, while Irish ox is steady at 70 cents per kilo, but in euros. There hasn't been any great news from the automotive sector lately, but Andrea writes that some tanneries are working full tilt while others not so much. And this means that prices can really vary depending on the quality. As a matter of fact, in some cases it can vary by as much as 40 cents per kilo, he says. Andrea's analysis this week is very interesting as he explains what's happening with cow purchasing right now in Arzignano. Plus, with the fall fair season underway, he sums up the impressions from MyCam and MyPal, which took place this week. Last but not least, he discusses the data for the Italian leather industry for the first half of 2019. In the U.S. market, again this week, activity was fairly quiet with not a great deal of trading reported. Packers were still standing firm but could not get higher money on any selection. That said, prices were generally steady, mainly within 50 cents or $1 of last sales, but again, these are not likely to be big volumes. Heavy Texas steers were reported to have sold $1 lower this week at $27 for 62-64 pound averages. With regard to U.S. slaughter, the total for the week is estimated at 658,000. Combined export sales for the week ending September 12th was 602,200, which is much higher than it has been, but it's likely that there's a decent amount of catch-up reporting in that number from suppliers who traveled after the Shanghai Fair. Combined shipments were also higher this week at 678,200. In our observations this week, we look at the steadiness of the market, and while that is a good thing, it can be difficult to maintain, and why that is. In our news section, we also have a report on the meeting of the U.S. Hide, Skins, and Leather Association and the Leather Industries of America in Chicago during the week. While everyone was there, the mergers were signed and sealed, and the new entity will take effect January 1, merging the two organizations. Friday also saw the announcement of the global media campaign to celebrate the versatility, beauty, and sustainability of U.S. leather, and it's called Real Leather, Stay Different. There's a website and social media accounts, so you'll want to check all of those out and follow them and see what they have to offer. Looking at South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports from Brazil that raw hide prices eased during the week. The new price was lower by 3 cents, bringing it to 63 cents in reals, which is about 15 US cents. TR1 was also a little softer as buyers have been able to push the price down to 45 to 48 cents per square foot in US currency. In other news, last week, Austria delivered a strike against the proposed Mercosur agreement with the EU because their country's parliament wants to veto it. This is important because all the EU countries have to agree, otherwise the agreement won't take effect. In news from Brazil, Mato Grosso may raise confinement by up to 10% this year. The Brazilian footwear sector expects to earn $42.64 million from its participation in the MyCam Milan Fair, and it's also launching Footwear Week with all kinds of activities set for October 6 to 10. In news from elsewhere in Latin America, Argentina's August cattle slaughter was 1.224 million. In Colombia, slaughter was down 4.2%. And in Paraguay, the Minister of Industry and Commerce visited some frigorificos that will participate in the Anuga International Fair in October. And the visit included Sencoprod, where she learned about the leather production process. So that's all we have for today. So until next week, good night from HideNet.